Fear and doubt. I can tell y'all, with a brain injury, I have had a lot of fear and I've had a lot of doubt. And it did not subside for me for a long, long time. Now, if this is something that resonates with you, come sit with me for a while, y'all. And, I'll chit chat and let you know how it was for me. Welcome to my channel. This is Astra's Brain Injury, and I am Astra. Thank you to all y'all who have tuned in to sit with me. Thank you to my subscribers and non, and hopefully after this, you'll become a subscriber. So, for the new ones that is just tuning in, my first MVA was in November of 2014, and it was catastrophic. Y'all, it was catastrophic. I had to learn how to walk. I had to learn how to talk. I had to learn even something as simple as swallowing. I had to learn how to swallow because I would choke on saliva, just swallowing saliva. I would choke from drinking liquid. I would choke. So I would joke and say I can choke on air because I could choke on anything. And there was a lot of issues that I had. And when you have a lot of issues, what's going to come knocking? Matter of fact, it's not even going to knock at your door. It's just going to kick the door and poof. Guess what? I'm fear and I'm here. And if you think fear is the only thing, guess what? Doubt is right here beside of me. And I had a lot of that. I had a lot that it was almost like it was overpowering because, and then, with that fear and the doubt, am I going to be able to be who I once was? Will I be able to hold down my job? Will I be able to, be there for my family? Will I be able to enjoy going out with my girlfriends, having our little lunch dates and we sit down and all of us having 10 million conversations in one? Will I be able to do these things? Will I be able to drive? By myself or even with somebody, will I be able to drive? I had a lot of fear because I had a lot of the unknown. And when you are in the situation and you are right smack in it, you cannot see, well, I shouldn't say I could not see, not even past my nose. Like, there's a saying, Caribbean saying that, you can't see past your nose. And it's the truth. I could not see tomorrow. I really could not see what was going to happen to me tomorrow. And I had a lot of fear, y'all. And that fear it did become a bit debilitating because when you don't know, and I can tell you personally, I'm a person that I do not like to not know. I'm one that likes to, I'm not to say that I'm a planner, but I like to know, okay, I got my things kind of lined up, even though I'm spontaneous. Before my, brain injury, I like to know that, because I'm a counter. That's how I can tell you. I'm a counter. I like to count down to things. And so when I do not see an end date in sight, for me, that is very fearful. And again, when I say that, not knowing if I'll be able to walk again, not knowing if I'll be able to see again, or even hear or speak something as simple as swallowing, being able to sit down and get up. I had a fear for all of these different things. Am I going to be good enough? Who will be out there that is going to appreciate what I can bring to the table? Who is going to love me? Will my children love me? Is my, whomever out there, are you going to be like, hey girl, your friends are they going to be like, what? I didn't know you was going through all of this. And are they going to be accepting that now I've got a brain injury and I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but I can't have a conversation with you, or all of a sudden I'll be in the middle of a conversation and I'm out because my brains is overtaxed and it's too much, and so my brain just shuts down. All of these different fears I had, and it was very prevalent for me in my early stage. I mean, now that where I'm at now, I'm like, okay, they love me, they don't. It's not going to be, skin off my back kind of a thing. But back then, when I was first in it, it was very scary for me. It was very scary, and I did not know if I was going to come out of it. I didn't know if I would be able to get up and sit down. I didn't know if I'd be able to, something as simple as tie my shoe, put my shoe on. Forget the tying of your shoe. Put my shoe on. I didn't know if I'd be able to do that, or even put on my socks. Something as simple as that. So, I had the fear and I had the doubt, because they went hand in hand. They was just like, how you doing? I'm fear and I'm doubt. Guess what? We're here. And whether you want to handle us or not, we're going to be right here until you do handle us. And it was very unnerving for me. I can tell you that right now. It was very unnerving because, something as simple like we see, I can look and tell, oh, I'm looking at the blue pencil, or you want to call it a purple blue, or however kind of blue you want to call it, a blue pencil. But for me, before, with my brain injury, I could not even identify things. So I would be looking in my pantry, and I'm sure I've told you all this before. I was looking in my pantry, and I would be looking for, say, syrup. And I'm looking for the syrup, and I can't find the syrup. So, I cook. And hopefully, if y'all don't know, I do have a cooking channel. So maybe you could check that one out too. But when I would be looking for the syrup. So here am I eating my waffles or my pancakes. I have no syrup. And everybody's like, well, what's this? You don't want any syrup? No, it's not that I don't want any syrup. I can't identify the syrup. So I remember before, my oldest, and I turned to him and I'm like, baby, can you, honey, where is the syrup? And I'm looking as he is getting the syrup for me. And when he put his hand on the syrup, it's like something clicked inside of my mind. And my brain was like, this is a syrup. And as he's bringing the syrup to me, and I'm putting my hands on the syrup, my brains is letting my eyes know, this is a syrup. This is what you've been looking for. And you burst into tears because I've been looking for this and I could not find it. But again, like I said, I had a lot of fears, y'all. I had a lot, because something as simple as just finding syrup, I didn't know if I'd be able to find it ever again. And I mean, I do have, like, presently today now, there are times where my brains is not still recognizing some things, like when I'm looking for, say, an ingredient, and I'm like, I don't see, say, the clove. Where's the clove? I don't see it. And I'd have to turn and be like, do y'all see the clove? And it's when somebody comes and put their hands on it, boom, it's like, ah, everything goes off. And my brain's just like, that's the clove. And the thing is, the next thing is, I could have picked it up and my brain's is not recognizing that this is the clove. And so, as I said, back then, it was very fearful for me. Very, very fearful for me, because I didn't know if I was going to get better. I did not know if it would become better for me. Not that just I get better, but will it be better for me? And then, that fear is there, and then the doubt is there, because is anybody really going to love you? There's the doubt. You begin to have all of these different things. And, I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, who's going to love me? Who is going to love me in this state? That was the next thing for me. And it was very real, and it was very fearful for me. And I had a lot of doubt, and I would cast a lot of doubt, because, we look at one another and we size up one another. Like, you're like, I like this individual. No, I don't like this individual. Or, no, that individual's got too much issues. Not a bit of that. We can't be friends. What? All of these different things. So within myself, knowing that I have a brain injury, besides my brain injury, I've got all these different issues, as I gave you all the list, letting you know from, the hearing, from my jaw to all kind of different things. Too much. There's a huge list to go through, like how they show you with Santa Claus with his scroll and his the list is going like that. I had a lot. And with all of those different issues came all that fear, came all that doubt. But when I began to come to the realization, you know what? My grandmother always used to say, there's somebody out there for everyone. There is your person that is out there. And that person, whether it's a spouse or a friend, that person will be your person that will, be on the sidelines cheering you. And even though you have all that fear and all that doubt, yes, it can be warranted. Because I'll tell you, yes, it is warranted. But then you've got to, I had to come to realize, I can't tell you, but I had to come to the realization, you know what? Even though I'm still like this, or even though I've got all of these issues, I can still bring something to the table. I can still have value. Even though I've got all of these different issues, I still have value. And this is where I keep saying that when you have someone on the sidelines helping to cheer you on, you can do it. You can do it. When you have your family, you have your I can't even say the word now. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. But when you have your family and you have your friend, you have loved ones, you have those that is caring about you and in your corner to help you, it is a huge help. And it was a huge help for me, because when I have, my children, because if y'all didn't know, my youngest, he was young, just a year and months he was when we were in that accident. And, this is how he knew me. Because, when they're little, they're like, mommy, mommy, mommy. And we are the center of their world. But then afterwards, as they begin to grow and they begin to explore, I was fearful, like, is he going to be embarrassed of me? Is he going to, oh no, my mother, no, can't do that, because she doesn't remember saying these things. And that was another thing, because I had a lot of memory issues, and I still do. Like, I couldn't even tell you what year I'm in. I couldn't tell you what year I am in. This is why I speak about journaling. But my concern was, are they going to love me? Are my babies going to love me? Are they going to be accepting of me? Are they just going to be like, that's just how mommy is. That's just, that's what, again, I said my fears and my doubts wanted to know, but wasn't warranted. Yes. Did I need to stay stuck there? No, because I came to the realization I needed to accept me for others to be able to accept me. So the fear that I bring, it exudes to everyone. And when you have that fear and doubt, others is feeling that. So it's like they say, when you walk into a room and you exude that confidence, everyone around you can feel, and they're drawn to the warmth of you and all that kind of a thing. So where I may have these fear and doubt, there's something else that can help. It could be your personality that will help to bring down that fear and doubt, because the warmth of you, whether it is that you've got a beautiful smile, and someone could turn and say, oh, you've got such a beautiful smile, and you're just like, oh wow, thank you, I really appreciate that. And that, even somebody saying that, because I could tell you that for me, it helped to chip away just even a little bit of that fear and that doubt. And that made a world of difference for me. Y'all, it really made a world of difference for me. So, I don't want to keep this long. But again, like I would say, that fear, poof, knocks the door and comes in. That doubt knocks the door, comes in. But it may creep. There may be times it's going to try and creep in, because I could tell you right now, it does. It does still want to be like, and I'm just like, not a bit of that. Don't want to hear you. I'm not going to have that fear, and I'm not going to have that doubt, because I don't need to. Yes, I'm where I'm going to be, and I'm happy where I'm at, and I'm happy that I'm able to, I can get up, I can walk, I can talk, even though my words may still get tripped up in my mouth, I can still talk, and I can still do things. So I'm happy. I'm not where I was before my accident back in 2014, but I am where I'm at, and I've accepted that. And that's the next thing. When you can accept that fear and that doubt, it will begin to be from up here, but it'll begin to subside. And I'll tell you, it may want to try and creep in again, because it did. And you just have to be like, not a bit of that. We're not going to be doing this merengue. No. So you're going to stay over there by the sideline, and I will be able to go forward. And when you begin to just decrease and, not put all of your eggs in the basket of fear and doubt, you're going to find that fear and doubt is going to begin to decrease. Well, not you, I'm telling you, for me personally, that's what I found. And even though it was hard at first, it began to diminish. And so that fear is not where it used to be. That doubt is not where it used to be. Yes, it's going to come in and be like, hey, 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 remember me? And I'm like, hey, hey, hey. No, I don't. We're not having this conversation. That's probably like, we're not having this conversation. But, let me know. Have you seen? Again, let's try this again. Let me know if you have experienced this. If this is something that has happened to you, where you've had that fear and that doubt when you first had your brain injury, and where are you now? Has it been years later or has it been months later? Let me know. Have you seen a difference with your fear and your doubt? So with that, I shall take my leave. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, and more share. Hit the notification bell so you can get notified of when I do these videos. And I shall check you in the next video. I'll definitely see y'all in the next video. So take care, and I shall take my leave now and tell y'all bye until the next time.